Hey guys, welcome to day number 3 of the 100-day project. First, a warning to you guys. My camera is acting fluky. I'll probably have to get another camera and this is so old. This is the same camera I started YouTube with. I mean, this is how many years now? 10 years? I don't know how many years I've been doing this. I just want to let you know if I miss something or if I get behind. I am going to do the 100 days. It just may not be consecutive. I'm going to try. Today what I'm going to do is work in my All Because of Scraps book. This is just a sketchbook. It's 8.5 by 11 inch pages. There's 160 pages in here, front and back, so 80 sheets. And it's very basic paper. It's not heavy or anything. And I've done a lot of stuff in here. And I'm going to do a quick flip through because some of you haven't seen a lot of these pages because I did them in the time I've been away from YouTube. And I've got some stacks of scraps over here that I pre-prepared a few months ago when I had to go somewhere and I was going to take this with me and just glue papers into my book, but I never got around to it. So I'm going to pick from these scraps to create our page. So before we get started, let me just show you what this book is about. This book is called All Because of Scraps because these pages would not exist without scraps, because that's what I used to create them. Let me back up just a little bit. And I started this probably in 2015 and just been working on a little at a time. So I'm just going to do a quick flip so you can see the pages that are in here. And you can see what can be created just using scraps. And they're fun, funky pages. There's no rhyme or reason. A lot of these shapes come out because of the scraps I use, the shape of scrap I use, or maybe it's a punch or something like this was a die cut that had the shapes in it, and I just use it as a piece to make a bird condominium. Luxury living for birds. That's what it's called. And if I go too fast, I'm sorry. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I should do a separate video flip through maybe, but I don't think people really love flip throughs that much. I don't know. You tell me below. What do you like? Flip throughs or just a quick look whenever somebody's going to work in their page? I don't know. Talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me. I love her. Her nose. She doesn't look like she's got a nose, but that's her nose. Some of these pages are pretty thick. Extra cards I just had laying around, stuck them on there. I could explain every page, but I won't take the time. I barely used any scraps, just one little piece, and the rest of it I just hand drew in. I might have skipped a page or two, but I'm trying to catch them all. I love this book. This is such an interesting little book to me. You could sit and look through it and find all kinds of interesting shapes and colors for hours. And it's relaxing and easy and fun to do. No pressure to create something that's going to be a masterpiece on a wall. Unless you're out for that, then sorry, can't help you there. I was just throwing some extra pieces that I had been playing with on here. It's scrap fabric and a scrap piece of paper. Okay, so here we are. I've got a paper back here to protect from being glued to the last page. Okay, so now these are the clusters of scraps that I've pre-prepared for that trip that I had, and I kind of did it by color: orangey yellows, greens, oranges, blues, kind of a pinkish tans, neutral colors, sort of similar here, and some reds. And I'm just going to pick one of these today. I don't want these, I know that for sure. Maybe I'll just do this one. This one appeals to me. Okay, I'm gonna put these to the side. All right, there may not be enough scraps to do this page. I may have to go back to my scrap bin and find some more. This was just a few pieces to get the backgrounds done, and then I was going to do a bunch of backgrounds, as you saw. So this may not be enough, but we're going to try. Oh, it's got a heart, so close to Valentine's Day. And I'm just going to glue these bit down randomly everywhere on the page. So let me get a glue stick. I'm just using a regular Elmer's washable glue stick. You can use matte medium if you want or something like that. I'm just going to use glue stick. And I want to start on the edge. It doesn't really matter where you start, but I'm going to start over here. I'm just going to start gluing down. And this part I'm going to get started, and then I'm just going to speed it up a little bit so that it's not so monotonous. So we get through this pretty quick today, because I want to get this glued down before I have to go to my appointment. I got to go to the dentist today, just a regular checkup. Hopefully they'll tell me no cavities. 61 years, no cavities so far. So proud. Okay. And where's the top of my paper? If it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, that's how I start. I just start gluing. I usually glue the bigger pieces first, and then I fill in with little pieces, and that might be what I have to go find as some little pieces, or create some little pieces just by tearing off from bigger pieces. What I love about these pages is you glue these scraps down, you have no idea what your page is going to turn out looking like. All those pages you just saw that I did in the flip through, I had no idea what they were going to look like until I got to that point and I was done, because they're just, it's a surprise, and I love that. So I hope you guys are playing along. All right, I've got my main pieces glued down. Let's see what else. Oh, and this was a surprise. I didn't realize this was on the back, so I left that on there. Crazy Love. I thought that was cute. May get covered up, but you know, right now it's there. And let's see what else. I was thinking of bringing in some more pieces here, but I've got these little scraps sitting here that I think I will try first. See if I like them on here. Kind of like that. This is just an index card that I did some doodling on a long time ago. I don't know if I want to use any of those, so right now what I'm going to do is stop gluing, and then I'm just going to take some gesso, and we're going to kind of tone this down a little bit, and may come back to those in a minute. I'm going to use this gesso. It's not as thick and it's not as white. It's called White Acrylic Gesso by Artist Loft. It's just a little more see-through, so I'm just going to do that. And that way this will show through more, but it'll still have a coating on it. Just going to use a palette knife to put this on. All right, I'm going to let this dry. And then I will come back and we're gonna start putting in some color and just bringing out some shapes and just seeing what we get. Okay, I'm back from the dentist. No cavities, good for me. I've got everything glued down I want to glue down. The gesso's dried. What I want to do next, I want to take my Stabilo pencil, if I can find it. Here it is. I'm going to bring in some shapes just for fun. And then I want to take a brush and I'm just going to wet it. Oh, my water's still dirty. That's okay. And I'm going to bring in the shapes with my pencil. Just a little bit, just so I can see them. The great thing about doing these kinds of pages is they don't have to make any sense at all. So you can do anything you want. That's how I look at everything I do anyway. Nothing I do has to make sense. All right, what I want to do now is I'm going to bring my crayons over here. Let me get them. I'm going to use these Neocolor water-soluble crayons. Caran d'Ache Neocolor water-soluble. And I'm just going to scribble some color in. I'm going to use the color I see here to bring in with my crayons. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for a second and then we will come back and do some more. The whole thing is I'm using the colors as a jumping off point, layers, give it more interest. So I'll probably bring some acrylic in on top of this and you won't even see what I'm doing here. And some people say, well, why even bother doing this? Well, just because it gets me to the next step. I'm just using it as a bouncing off point. So I don't know where I'm gonna wind up, but we're on our way. Okay, this is dried some. I pulled out some acrylics I'm gonna use. I've got a Delta Ceramcoat English Hue Green, Apple Barrel Yellow, Apple Barrel Victoria Green, Ceramcoat Lisa Pink, and Americana Asphaltum. That's what I'm going to start with. And you don't have to use these colors, just use whatever you like. I don't even like listing colors, to be honest with you. But, you know, sometimes people ask and I just soon go ahead and say it. But I really prefer that you use colors that you love because you'll always like what you do. Well, not always. Instead of using what somebody else is using, you might enjoy your colors more, your project more if you use colors you love. I'm going to open my gesso here and I'm going to occasionally use a little bit of it too. All right, I'm going to continue playing and layering and putting in color. I wanted to tell you what I'm going to introduce into this piece now. These are color washes, a color wash tent by Tattered Angels. And there's a variety of colors sitting here. They have a glittery kind of effect to them, like a metallic-y kind of effect. I don't know if I'll like it on here, but I'm going to try that. So when you see me using something like this, that's what I'm using. Okay, I have been evaluating this. I dried it a little bit. This is the point where I decide if I want to go further with the layers I've got and the shapes I've got, or if I want to go a different direction. And I don't like the direction it's going so far, so, but I tell you what I do like. I do like this. I do like this and this part here. I don't mind the crazy love, but I don't like the color of the heart, and I don't like these colors, the separation. I mean, I could keep going and make it work, but I don't feel like it. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it off camera so I can just get this done and not take up a lot of video time. I'm gonna take white gesso, I'm gonna use the Liquitex Basics, and I'm gonna push back the background and just keep the shapes that I wanna keep. And so when I come back, all the shapes that I want will be here, but the background will be pushed back and muted. Okay, this is where we're at now. I don't like the heart the way it was, so I filled it in. You can still see through it, but that's okay. And I think I like it a lot better. I like that it sits on top rather than having this go through it now. I love this coloring in here. And I like some of this brown around the edges, but it might go away. But what I'm going to do is bring in this color Robin's Egg Craft Smart. And I'm going to cover the background with this color. I'm going to work on the heart while that finishes drying. And I'm running out of space. I'm just going to use two colors, Americana Melon and Americana Razzleberry. I don't know if I'll use both or one. I kind of want it to be the melon color, but I don't know how I'm going to like it, so I might put the Razzleberry on top. And this is just a scrap page, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to reach that point where I'm happy, that I like what I've got down here. And once I reach that point, that's all that matters. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna leave it sit for a minute. I might add the raspberry, I just don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I want to bring this out more. I want this to be darker. Maybe this color. I'm going to leave a little bit of that showing through. I think I like that. I'm going to go ahead and put the raspberry on top of this because I want it brighter. I like this. I'm going to leave that. And I like this. I'm going to leave that. I am going to bring my Stabilo. Actually, maybe I'll bring in my oil pastels and do some outlining first and then my Stabilo. I'm going to use an inexpensive set of oil pastels. These came from Hobby Lobby, probably from 2011. I don't think they're going to be $5.99 anymore, but that's what I paid for these. And I love working with these. I like working with them on their own, and I like working with them with my heat tool and spreading them around. But I think we're just going to play with them right now as they are and just do some outlining. You can smooth them a little bit with your fingers because it does, the heat from your fingers does help. What I want to do next is I'm going to bring in a stencil, and I don't know what the name of this stencil is. I couldn't find the package. It's somewhere in here somewhere. It's just some little leaves. It's probably Crafter's Workshop. And I'm going to use mint julep and warm white in Americana. And I'm just going to do a mixture of both. I'll start off with the white, I think. Okay, now I'm going to just do a little doodling. I've got my white jelly roll pen, and if it'll work, I'm just going to put some little circles in here. I don't know if you can see them or not. Little tiny circles. I don't know if you can see them or not. And then I'm going to take my pencil, my regular pencil. I love to play with pencils. And I'm just going to put some more marks in. This is just for interest for your eyes to look at. Okay, I love that. I'm very, very happy now. The other thing I want to do is this piece of scrap was laying off to the side and it looks like a leaf shape to me. And because we got like a tree or a flower or a mushroom or whatever, I want to add a leaf. Mushrooms don't have leaves, but you know, in my world they do. So just go with it. But we're going to pretend it's a flower. And I was thinking of putting the leaf right there, but I kind of really like it right here. Like it's grown out of the heart. Or should I do the other side? A lot going on over here. The shape fits over there better. That's cute. Let's go with that. Glue. Anybody want to send some oil for my chair? Okay, just like that. Okay, that looks cute. And let's go ahead and go around it with our Stabilo. You can hear little pitter patters in here. Oscar and Allie are in here. And I'll go around with my water. Okay. I was thinking it needs something dark. There's dark over here. It needs a little dark. And I found this scrap over here. I thought, well, maybe I could use a few pieces of it. I like that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue those down and I'll be right back. Okay, I love it. The only thing left for me to do is what I usually do, which is write a little note to myself with pencil. I like to scribble little notes, and I'll probably write that right in here, and we will call this done. Okay, that's it. I'm going to call this Crazy Love. These are so fun to do, so pressure-free and stress-free, and it fits right into my crazy little pages here. You get scrolling along, you come to this page, and then that one's next. It fits right in. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get your scraps out and make a page, and I will see you tomorrow for day 4. All right, bye-bye.